Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, and I am your host, the Ultimate One, on the YouTube channel. And today we got a couple of stories here, WWE stuff. As you guys know, that the morale backstage is in an all-time low after Shane Mcmahon tried to sabotage the Royal Rumble last weekend, and there were so many changes into this Royal Rumble that people were just asking themselves this question: how in the world can this company run the way they're running? I mean, supposedly there was a lot of changes in the back leading up to the Royal Rumble. You had Shane McMahon trying to build the Royal Rumble or Wrestlemania around him. He and the creative team were at odds in the back. It gave to the point where they said that Shane McMahon became very aggressive and very nasty to a lot of the writers in the back, where they just gave up. And pretty much after the Royal Rumble, you saw that the reports that were coming in, the morale was low. There were people were pissed off at Shane McMahon, that Shane McMahon had a lot of heat in the back. The plan for him was to be at the Elimination Chamber, and as you guys saw on Monday, he was not in the graphic for the Elimination Chamber, because then the next day they reported that Shane McMahon was let go quietly from WWE. So the father pretty much let his son go. You're no longer welcome here. So, but they're trying to do damage control right now, because then after that, now they're trying to make things right as far as what's going on. As you guys know, before I start anything here, is that back in the beginning of this year, they had the pay-per-view called Day One. Now, it was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Reports came in hours before the event started that Roman Reigns had the COVID. I'm gonna say had COVID. I don't know, quote unquote. I mean, there was report leading to Day One that there were several wrestlers who were either COVID or was taken out of the role because they were around somebody who had COVID, and that was the report. But to me, it may sound crazy, but to me, I feel like they said that so Roman Reigns could then, have the record for being the longest Universal Champion, that a record that was held by Brock Lesnar, and they gave the belt to Brock Lesnar by him defeating Big E at the flyweight, which was another stupid booking, because it was supposed to be Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Big E. Then they added Bobby Lashley into the mix, and then when supposedly Roman Reigns ended up getting COVID, they added Brock Lesnar, which he won the belt. So there's a lot of stuff been going on since the beginning of this year. So to me, I say, you know what, they are having one of those years, because then after that, MLW goes out of nowhere and sues WWE. Then we had last week where they had the event, and while Ronda Rousey was pointing at the Wrestlemania logo, the logo caught on fire. They had to move certain people out of that section. They even had a video online where the damn sign was melting from the heat of the fire. So it was crazy. So it shows you what's going on with WWE. Everything wrong going for them. So what did they do? They let Shane McMahon go quietly. Then they added Brock Lesnar into the Elimination Champion. Mind you that the man already won the Royal Rumble. So why would you add him into the Elimination Chamber? Which he had, I gotta give him, he had some type of facts. He said that Bobby Lashley never really beat him because Roman Reigns speared him and whatnot, and then hit him with the belt, and then Paul Heyman ended up leaving with the Tribal Chief. But that doesn't make sense, because even if he loses in the Elimination Chamber, he's still going to get a title match with Roman Reigns, because he already said who he's going to wrestle. So it makes no sense. But Wrestle Talk, as of 12 hours ago, they reported that more details on low backstage morale following the WWE Royal Rumble. It said more detail has emerged on reporting low backstage morale. They reported that many wrestlers within the locker room had grown frustrated with the many changes made on the January 29 30 competitive match, which was the Rumble, of course. Fightful Select recently spoke with a range of WWE talent, including consistent main event veterans and Rising Star, about the decreasing morale levels. So people still talking nasty about, WWE is doing fine. They know what they're doing. Okay, so it was reportedly confirmed that the Royal Rumble was a major point of frustration, with talent finding issue with how the match was produced, including the lack of capitalization on angles set up before the event. Per the report, more than 6 main roster stars pointed to issues with continuity, with several names reported feeling that they have no voice and are have to use social media to be heard. One individual reportedly noted that their attempts to speak with Vince McMahon are often ignored and that they never felt less heard. Discussing fan criticism of WWE storytelling, another talent reporter noted, if you see a complaint with merit and in good faith about something that lacks sense, logic, or continuity, I almost guarantee we have complained too. It just never changes anything. So there you go. Several stars, several main eventers has said that they try to talk to McMahon. The old man doesn't want to hear it. Does not want to hear it. So that is a problem. A big time problem. And the fact now that WWE is leaning to a title versus title at WrestleMania may be the fact why they put Brock Lesnar into the Elimination Chamber. So that means that Bobby Lashley will be only a 30-day or probably less than that champion, because he just won the title last Saturday. So here we have this report coming in 3 hours ago that when Brock Lesnar captured the WWE Championship at WWE Day 1, there was speculation among fans that WWE could be heading toward title versus title between Lesnar and Roman Reigns. That's what I thought when he got the belt. Those plans were reportedly never in place, with WWE taking the championship off Lesnar and putting on Bobby Lashley back at the Royal Rumble. However, with Lesnar's addition to the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match, the idea of title versus title has resurfaced. Per Dave Meltzer and Pro Wrestling Observer, several members of the WWE creative team believe that Vince McMahon will make the call to go with the title versus title as Lesnar addition to the chamber. Now, here's my question on that. If, let's say, whoever wins this title versus title, are they going to still keep the Universal title and get rid of the World title, which has been in existence for 63 years? Think about it. Or less than that, 61, 62, something like that. But it's been 60-something years. WWE's been around that long. That you're going to tell me that if Roman Reigns wins, then the Universal title is going to be the prestigious title in the WWE instead of the World title, with the lineage of that title, with Bruno Sammartino as being the man, Buddy Rogers, the superstar Billy Graham, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, the list goes on and on. So you're going to tell me that if they do a title versus title, and let's say Roman Reigns wins, the Universal title is going to be the main title instead of the World title? That is a question. I would love to see that, title versus title, because then I want to see the aftermath of that. That's what I want to see, because it's getting crazy with that stuff, because it's just, we'll see. There were reports from internally, including Paul Heyman and Lesnar, who are pushing for it. Meltzer said the only thing they told is that the press time, the course of WrestleMania is set regarding both titles, with a number of twists and turns to come, with most presumably playing out at the Elimination Chambers. So we'll see. The Elimination Chamber, I believe, is in Saudi Arabia this year. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. So this is why I like, reading this stuff, because, we'll see what happens with all this stuff. So we'll see. Several WrestleMania plans changed following Shane McMahon's departure. The news of Shane McMahon's WWE departure has taken the wrestling world by storm this week. Like I said, with him reported originally being stated for a big match at WrestleMania. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select recently took a part of Q&A and which was asked about whether AJ Styles has any WrestleMania plans penciled in and whether it was against Edge. So his name has been tossed around supposedly. So we may see an Edge versus AJ Styles, which will be a good match. Seth continued on revealing that several people had their creative shifted as they were planned for Shane McMahon, which will no longer be happening. He said that there are several people who had their creative sort of shifted because they were planned for Shane McMahon, and now they're no longer going to be part of WrestleMania. There are going to be some things that ended up changing. So I see a lot of you asking, what's the program for Edge? What's the program for Drew McIntyre? It's an awful lot of stuff, he says. And I could say something right now at the beginning of February. It's going to be different in 2 weeks. So we'll see. I mean, you're not going to have Drew McIntyre still wrestling Happy Corbin and Moss. You're definitely going to have Edge doing nothing. So whether either of those two go against AJ Styles, that's going to be, we'll see about that. So that right there, guys, that's something that we'll see. I mean, this is crazy. And here's one to end this whole stupidity. Goldberg is supposed to be coming back, and his return. So plans for the imminent Goldberg WWE return have been revealed. Backstage morale is said to be at an all-time low. Of course, you're bringing a 50-something-year-old man into the mix, taking spot from the younger talent. You know, so there's word that that he may come back. And via Mahan, they keep saying that he's coming to Raw. When is he coming to Raw? But anyway, besides the point, again, Goldberg again coming back. Why? Why is Goldberg coming back? Why they continue to go to the old school, to the nostalgia stuff, bringing there for what? We saw this at the Rumble, Women's Rumble. There was a return of divas at the Rumble. This is what you call the Forbidden Door? Really? This is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and I'm one that I'm going to talk about it, and a lot of people are not going to be happy with what I got to say, because a lot of WWE droids, they think that, when I speak up or say something, I'm hating on WWE. No, it's facts, guys. It's facts. The fact is that WWE don't know what to do. In the last, since 2012, in the last 10 years, they have not built anybody. The same guys are still there. The Shield, with the exception of Moxley's not there, CM Punk is not there, John Cena's not there, but you still doing the same shit. You're pushing Roman Reigns, the same thing. You pushing Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth Rollins gets more title matches than I don't know who. AJ Styles has not been booked the way he's supposed to. AJ Styles is a superstar. This guy is a legend. They had him walking around with the Green Giant. You know what I'm saying? Omos. Okay? And then the comedy skits they do in the back. That's why. And people want to come to me about, oh, if you don't want to see it, then change the channel. Because people like you are the ones that go and apologize for this company's garbage product. Okay? What amazes me is that even though the Seth Rollins and the Roman Reigns match was the way they booked it, it was a solid match. Even though it had the little storyline, I liked the way the whole thing. I liked the match. Don't get me wrong. The Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar match was pretty good. I just didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending for the fact that you go and Paul Heyman just turned on Roman Reigns, and all of a sudden now he turns on Brock Lesnar. What? Is there an end goal here? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All these guys that participating in the Royal Rumble, they have every right to be feeling pissed off. The morale is low. And this is why you have the Jeff Hardy who left, Tony Storm left. There's going to be more. And now they're keeping Mustafa Ali hostage because he still got more I think, time on his contract. Got a little bit over a year. And this is why he did not participate at the Royal Rumble. So he's going to be home getting paid. But he wants to wrestle. WWE don't give a rat's ass about none of you, and you keep WWE made $1 billion, and what's the point? The product still sucks. So you hanging on the money deal, all the we're in reality. The reason they're making all that money is because these company wants to have the brand of WWE They may not even watch this shit. They may think that's professional wrestling. Have no idea. This is why it's great to be an independent wrestler. This is great to watch professional wrestling because you get to see good matches. MJF and CM Punk this week, 45 minutes, and what I heard was it was too long. I couldn't believe what I heard. It was too long. It's too long, but it was a storytelling. Okay? Left cliffhangers. Okay? Different. People were complaining a couple of weeks ago, CM Punk didn't solve Warlord's powerbomb. Really? Didn't I say it was a storytelling? And the storytelling was told this week. WWE, they do storytelling 1 minute, and the next thing you know, they'll have some comedy bullshit with Dana Brooke walking around with a 24/7 belt around her neck and still fighting with Tamina in the back. This is what they had lowered Tamina to be, chasing the 24/7 and fighting in the back. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that is it for me today. I had rambled enough. So those are the 3 stories. Again, the morale in the back of WWE, lowest as it can be. And I don't think it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better, especially with this WrestleMania crap coming out. The Ronda Rousey situation. Ronda Rousey had she had a promo on Monday, and here comes Becky Lynch. Cringe. That's all I got to say. I mean, it wasn't worse than the Brandy coming out this week and AEW, which that was a major cringe. That's the cringe. That's turn off the TV cringe. But still, and all she did a judo move on Becky Lynch, dropped her, and then said something to Mike and left. She still looks like she don't want to be there. She's there, I don't know for what, but she may beat Becky Lynch for the title. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, you can follow me on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report audio podcast, and you can listen to it any audio podcast platform that you guys like to listen to your show. Check it out. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. Hit that thumbs up so you can help the engine search to help my podcast. Again, also you can go to my store, tcwr.veryimpressive.com, and you can see the logo on top of the screen right here. That's exactly what you're going to see on those shirts. A black shirt with that logo on it. And you can catch it, or you can buy it at tcwr.veryimpressive.com, the home of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. That is it for me today, guys. Again, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you thought about WWE and all that stuff. Again, we'll see what happens. I mean, WrestleMania season is always one of the best time that I used to love watching WWE back probably maybe 10 years ago. Maybe 8-9 years ago. I used to love it because you see a lot of stuff, and you had the brand split, and you had people going back and forth and whatnot. Now it's just boring as hell. It's just the old man don't care. All he cares about making money. So until then, guys, be safe, be well, and I'll see you guys next week.